to communicate to the writers that we needed to connect with the actors and vice versa, because that was the missing link. If I could solve
From
that.
success to disaster, to understand what went wrong, we need to go back to the beginning. The Cosby Show was the biggest show in the world, a success that changed television forever. The network wanted to expand this success, so they decided to create a spin-off following the Huxtables' second oldest daughter, Denise, as she went to college. What few people know is that the original idea was completely different. The show would be about a white student attending a historically black college, HBCU. The creators even considered future movie star Meg Ryan for the lead role, but the idea evolved until they decided to make Denise the protagonist, giving her a white roommate. That role went to Marissa Tomei, who would later win an Oscar. Even with a star from The Cosby Show, production was a disaster from day one. The initial pilot episode was so bad they had to discard it. In fact, they filmed 4 entire episodes and then abandoned all of them. A new producer was hired and given just 6 weeks to create a completely new pilot before the premiere date. When the show finally premiered in 1987, it was an instant ratings hit. It had the best time slot on television between The Cosby Show and Cheers. Millions of people watched. But there was a big problem. While the audience was watching, critics were attacking. The reviews were brutal. They called the show boring, childish, and unfunny. They said it was just a weak copy of the original show. The first season holds a terrible 11% rating on Rotten Tomatoes. One of the main criticisms was that it seemed completely fake. The show was set at the fictional Hillman College, an HBCU in Virginia, but it didn't show what life at a black college was really like. Critics pointed out that the students were never seen studying or even going to class. The Yasi star who had to leave, the show's biggest star, was Lisa Bonet. She was famous, stylish, and the reason the show was created. But after the troubled first season ended, she made an announcement that would change everything. Lisa and her then-husband, rock star Lenny Kravitz, announced they were expecting a baby. The new producer, legendary director and choreographer, Debbie Allen, saw this as a golden opportunity. She had been hired to fix the show and make it more realistic. She thought a story about a young pregnant student would be powerful and groundbreaking, exactly the kind of real-life issue she wanted to explore. But Bill Cosby, the creator of both shows, had a very different opinion. He flatly refused. He made his position clear. Lisa Bonet could be pregnant, but her character Denise Huxtable could not. For 4 seasons on The Cosby Show, Denise had been known as a good girl from a respectable family. Cosby believed that viewers would never accept her as a single unwed mother in college. He fiercely protected the wholesome image of the Huxtable family and would not allow it to be altered. This created a massive conflict behind the scenes. On one side was Debbie Allen, who wanted to tell real, challenging stories. On the other was Bill Cosby, who wanted to protect his brand. Lisa Bonet was caught in the middle. In the end, Cosby won the battle. It was decided that Denise would not be pregnant on the show. Instead, Lisa Bonet had to leave a different world. Her character was written out of the series, justifying her absence by saying Denise had left Hillman and returned to her family's home. Years later, Jasmine Guy, who played Whitley Gilbert, revealed a dark secret about how producers treated Lisa. During filming in front of the live studio audience, producers were openly disrespectful to her, pointing fingers in her face and aggressively telling her to just say her lines. The environment became so toxic that Jasmine decided she couldn't be part of it anymore. In an act of incredible loyalty, she tried to quit the show in protest. She went to the producer's office and gave her 2-week notice, saying, "If it happens to her, it happens to me. You are disrespecting the cast." The Debbie Allen revolution, with its main character gone and its reputation in shambles, the show was on the brink of cancellation. That's when a new creative force arrived, with a vision so bold it would transform the failure into a television legend. Debbie Allen, as the new producer and director, was given the impossible task of saving a show that had lost its star and its purpose. But Debbie had a secret weapon. She understood the world of the show better than its creators. A graduate of Howard University, a prestigious real-life HBCU, she knew what college life was really like and was determined to bring that authenticity to the screen. She started by completely overhauling the show. She redesigned the set of the campus restaurant where the students hung out to make it more realistic. She also got rid of the generic costumes from the first season and brought in more authentic fashion. With Lisa Bonet gone, Debbie knew the show could no longer be about a single star. She shifted the focus to the entire group of students, creating a true ensemble show. She took two supporting characters from the first season and placed them at the center of the series, the rich and snobbish Whitley Gilbert and the nerdy math whiz Dwayne Wayne. This decision would create one of the most iconic and beloved couples in television history. To ensure the stories felt real, Debbie did something revolutionary. Every year, she took the entire writing staff on a field trip to Atlanta to visit real HBCU campuses like Spelman and Morehouse. They walked the grounds, saw the latest dorm styles and fashions, and most importantly, talked with real students and professors. Many of the series' most famous episodes came from ideas from these trips. Debbie also empowered her actors. She asked each cast member to write 10 story ideas they would personally like to see their characters explore, taking these lists directly to the writer's room. The actors finally felt heard. Most importantly, Debbie Allen made the show brave. While The Cosby Show carefully avoided controversial topics, Debbie dove right into them. Under her leadership, A Different World became a platform for discussing the most important issues of the day: apartheid in South Africa, date rape, domestic violence, and the HIV/AIDS epidemic. Secret loves and hidden relationships, the on-screen. Chemistry between the Hillman students was undeniable, especially the romantic tension between Dwayne and Whitley. But what fans didn't know was that this chemistry was fueled by a complex web of real-life crushes and secret relationships. The biggest secret of all was the long-term romance between Kadeem Hardison, who played Dwayne Wayne, and Cree Summer, who played activist Freddie Brooks. While viewers were obsessed with Dwayne and Whitley, the real romance was between Kadeem and Cree. They maintained a serious relationship for about 3 years, from 1989 to 1992. During the height of the show's popularity, their romance blossomed from a deep friendship. They were best friends first, sharing a love for riding motorcycles and collecting comics. One day, while out riding, Cree stopped her motorcycle and confessed her feelings. "I love you. I think I'm in love with you." He was shocked at first, but realized she was his best friend, and it made sense. In a later interview, Cree described Kadeem as the blueprint for a first love, calling him kind, generous, and extremely funny. Their breakup before the show ended was difficult, especially since they still had to work together every day, but they managed to remain close friends. Before Kadeem started dating Cree, he had a huge crush on his other co-star, Jasmine Guy. They had met before A Different World, while working on Spike Lee's film School Days. Kadeem was only 20 at the time, while Jasmine was 24, and she felt he was too young for her. There was yet another secret, lasting romance that came from the show. Darrell M. Bell, who played Dwayne's best friend Ron Johnson, met actress Tempest Bledsoe in 1989 when she made a guest appearance on A Different World. Tempest was known as Vanessa Huxtable on The Cosby Show. A few years after meeting, they began dating. Today, they have been in a happy, committed relationship for nearly 3 decades, iconic moments and secret battles. The cast's powerful chemistry was real, but that didn't mean they always agreed with the direction of the show. When the writers came up with the idea for what would become the single most iconic moment in the series, the two main stars secretly fought against it, convinced it would be a complete disaster. Every fan remembers the legendary scene where Dwayne Wayne stands up in the middle of Whitley Gilbert's wedding to another man and begs her not to go through with it. It's a classic TV moment, but behind the scenes, both Kadeem Hardison and Jasmine Guy hated the idea. When she first read the script, Jasmine told the writers she thought the idea was whack and corny. Kadeem agreed. He felt that having Dwayne crash the wedding and steal his friend's fiancée was unrealistic and a snake-in-the-grass thing to do, against his character's integrity. He pleaded with the writers to change the ending and even pitched a different idea where Dwayne would go see Whitley the night before the wedding to confess his feelings. The writers liked his idea, but still wanted the massive, dramatic confrontation at the church. The day of filming, Kadeem was so nervous and conflicted about the scene that when he ran down the aisle, his mind went blank. He completely forgot his lines. So, fueled by pure emotion, he improvised. Instead of the written dialogue, he just yelled from his heart, "Baby, please, please." Jasmine, who was standing at the altar, could barely hear him, but knew she had to react. That raw, unscripted plea was so powerful that they captured the perfect moment on the very first take. The scene that the actors thought would be a disaster became legendary because of a last-minute error. The show also fought battles with the network and advertisers. In 1991, Debbie Allen was determined to make an episode about the growing HIV/AIDS crisis, a topic that no other sitcom had dared to touch. When the show's corporate sponsors learned of the plan, they panicked. Major advertisers began pulling their funding. The episode titled "If I Should Die Before I Wake" was in serious danger of being shut down. Debbie Allen knew she needed help, so she made a personal call to her friend Whoopi Goldberg, one of the biggest stars in the world. Without hesitation, Whoopi agreed to guest star in the episode. Her involvement gave the network the courage to stand up to the advertisers. The episode aired and became the highest rated in the show's history. Where are they now? The cast fought tirelessly to make A Different World a show with meaning and purpose. Their lives after leaving Hillman College have been equally full of unexpected challenges and surprising triumphs. Sinbad, who played gym teacher Walter Oakes, left the show after season 4 and became a major star in stand-up comedy and films. In 2020, at age 64, his life changed forever when he suffered a major ischemic stroke that left him unable to move the left side of his body. For 2 years, his family kept his condition private while he underwent grueling therapy, slowly and painfully. Relearning to walk, Darrell M. Bell faced a different kind of battle. His father, Travers Bell Jr., was a financial pioneer and founder of the first black-owned firm on the New York Stock Exchange. When his father passed away unexpectedly in 1988, 24-year-old Darrell was named the executor of his $14 million estate. While still acting on the show, he found himself in the middle of a painful and public family legal battle when his stepmother and aunt sued him. Dawn Lewis, who played Jaleesa Vinson, is a multi-talented artist who faced her own challenges in the industry. She co-wrote the show's iconic theme song with Bill Cosby and Stu Gardner, but was told she couldn't be the one to sing it. Cree Summer, who played Freddie Brooks, built a secret empire with her voice. After the show ended, she quietly became one of the most successful voice actors in history, with over 100 characters in some of the most beloved cartoons of all time. Jasmine Guy and Kadeem Hardison have both continued to have long and successful careers. Jasmine has appeared in numerous TV shows and has also become a respected director and activist. Kadeem has worked constantly in film and television. The journey of A Different World is one of the most incredible comeback stories in television history. It began as a critically panned spin-off on the verge of failure, but through conflict, courage, and Debbie Allen's revolutionary vision, it transformed into a cultural landmark. The show inspired a generation of young black students, leading to a massive increase in enrollment at real-life HBCUs. Today, new generations continue to discover the show, finding that the issues it addressed remain relevant. The cast recently reunited for a sold-out tour of HBCUs across the country, bringing the Hillman story full circle. The final secret of A Different World is that the polished show fans fell in love with was born from behind-the-scenes chaos and courageous challenge. The struggles the cast and crew faced are what gave the show its authentic and unbreakable heart.